Welcome to playoff football on the Raiders Sports Network. Great to join you tonight. My name's Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We have an exciting slate of action for you today as Pomona takes on the Regis Jesuit Raiders. This matchup nearly about as even as it gets when you look on paper, when you look at compared teams. Cam, what do you see from Regis coming into this game that's really impressed you so far?
All right, what we really want to talk about here is Xander Carroll as QB. You know, the QB is the head of the offense. No matter what you look at it like, the QB always calls the plays. He's seeing everything on the field that the defense is doing. He's the most important cog in the machine that is football offense. You know, looking here, Xander has almost 1,300 yards passing. He's got 14 TDs to only 2 interceptions, which is crazy for high school. He also has about 480 yards rushing with 10 TDs with that. That's huge. And then his older brother, Xavier Carroll, is nothing to scoff at either with 705 yards rushing with 10 TDs. This is a huge passing and rushing team. Combining that together, that defense has to play everything as hard as they can. The Pomona defense has to go to the ball no matter what they do. They can't lack off on the deep throws. They can't lack off on the short little runs either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd fully agree with that because, you know, when you look at Regis, as you mentioned, a balanced, dynamic offense. When you look at the other side of the ball for Pomona, you don't see that same balance that you see with the Raiders. Coming into today, let me tell you just an insane stat. Per game, the Pomona Panthers average 6.5 pass attempts a game. This is strictly a rushing offense that we've seen from the Panthers thus far this year. You can't imagine that it would slow down now or that they would try to negate that. Colton Muller, their starting running back, 986 yards on the ground and 5 touchdowns compared to C.J. Taylor, their starting quarterback. Excuse me, it corrected there. It's C.J. Kaler. Wrong on our sheet here. C.J. Kaler, 455 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's only thrown 65 passes through 10 games played, a very low mark, especially when you consider how today's game is played. On the defensive side of the ball, Pomona is pretty stout, specifically through the air. They have a high interception total. No one has a bunch per team or per player, but they have a lot combined, as well as a tackling machine in Junior Gonzalez. Watch out for him tonight. Junior Gonzalez of the Panthers comes in today with 71 total tackles and 50 solo. Cam, what do you think the Raiders can do to crack this Pomona defense who's been good through the air?
You know, good through the air. What gets picked about 100% of the time, the biggest picks are going to be those deep thrown, low percentage passes. Those little 5-yard slant routes, those little fake goes and then coming back to the ball, those little curl routes, those are going to be huge in this game, I believe. Getting to people like DeAndre Barnes, who's got that speed, or Andrew Metzger, who's got that strength and that can get the ball at a 5-yard line and move it up to 6 more yards to get like an 11-yard play, which is huge. Moving the ball up just like 4 yards a play at a time, you're going to get a touchdown no matter what happens.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, coaches in the NFL, they like running backs who get 4 yards a carry, because if you're getting 4 yards a carry, each rush, that's 12 yards for 3 rushes, right? You know, that's fairly good numbers. Something that the Raiders do well, as you mentioned, they need to exploit those routes underneath, because Pomona obviously good in coverage deep down the field, but once you get those little underneath routes, those crossing routes, right, you want, you know, DeAndre Barnes on a drag, even Luke Ford, we've seen him showcase the speed, Dallas Macias on a lot of wide receiver screens. That is how you're going to crack this Pomona defense. If you're Pomona's offense, you just have to pray, because this rushing attack, it's been pretty good this year, and you have a stout offensive line, but you're going against J-Bone Beasy. Big Jaden Franklin, number 77, up the middle, massive nose tackle, great at shedding blocks, high tackle for loss numbers this year, a rushing attacks nightmare. So I'd look out for that for Pomona, trying to push the ball by rushing. As we mentioned, not a lot of passing stats. We're so excited to get underway here on the Raider Sports Network. As we mentioned, I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler and Nick Marks, a whole bunch of people on camera, a whole bunch of people on photography on the sideline, as well as Instagram. If you're looking for more close-up coverage, I would check out our Instagram at RJ_media. Same thing on Twitter. We are so happy to have you guys here tonight for some playoff football. Let's get underway. And here come the Raiders as they burst through the banner, getting ready for their first playoff action of the season. Second round from Lou Kellogg Stadium on the way in just a moment. You're watching playoff football on the Raider Sports Network. The Panthers take the field, and so do the Raiders. They've elected to kick, as we mentioned. Pomona will start their drive, receiving south, heading north.
Deep for the Panthers, number 13, Gartman, and number 22, Gallegos.
So, Gallegos and Gartman back deep to return. Dylan McCullough to take this kickoff. Runs up, sweeps the leg, and with that, we are off. Playoff action from Lou Kellogg Stadium, fielded by Gallegos. Running right side, has a hole. Gallegos up the middle, brought down. Shoestring tackle, but a good return for the Panthers to start this game. Now, when you look at the stats coming into today, as we've mentioned probably a million times before the game has started, the thing that you're going to look at here, that was actually number 23, we don't have him on roster, but regardless, when you look at this Pomona offense, the thing that really stands out, they're choosing between 3 play calls here on first down, and about all 3 of them are probably runs. Kaler takes the snap, and it is a run, running left side, and taken down. Hard hit, Dallas Macias, and a little flex to start the game. Dallas Macias making an interesting choice of change before the game. Switched up his haircut a little and went with the mullet. Same with Garrett Paget. Gotta say, Dallas's is pretty faint, but oh man, Paget's is strong. I will say that. Kaler out of the shotgun. Handoff running up the middle, Muller. Muller cuts right side. Muller trying to slip back and a flag. So they will signal 2nd and 4. Kaler still without a pass attempt. As we mentioned, only averages 6.5 passing attempts per game. Fairly one-dimensional offense. Kaler from the shotgun takes the snap. Handoff, Muller running left side. Muller fighting through, and he'll pick up the first down, moving the chains and getting Pomona into the red zone to start their first drive.
Yeah, that's really going to be, that offensive line is controlling the trenches at the moment. That D-line is not doing anything really big. They're not even getting in the backfield. I haven't seen a single man for that D-line in the backfield yet, which is really huge. You need to get there with this huge run offense.
Ticking down to around 10 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Kaler will work out of the shotgun again. Takes the snap. Handoff again. Muller up the middle, and this time he's stopped. Shoved back there after he's met by a wall of Raider bodies. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 8 after a gain of around 2.
And that's what we want to see there from that Raiders defense, getting their man, getting, about like 4 or 6 Raiders on that single running back. You hit that guy big, he's going to get a little bit scared. He's going to second-guess some decisions that he usually wouldn't, and that's what you want here.
We saw an offense like this earlier in the year, not necessarily rushing, but where it all ran through one player. Raiders were able to shut them down in the first half, but not the second. Let's see if that's the case here. An actual pass attempt by Muller. No, it will not be. He breaks a tackle and scampers to the end zone. That's C.J. Kaler in for the touchdown. So the Panthers lead 6-0 on their opening drive. No passes, all runs. Caught the Raiders off guard, then took off. Raiders needing to defend the run here tonight. That was pretty much one of the only things you got to worry about coming in is just defend the run. No pass attempts on that first drive. Of course, the face mask penalty aided Pomona, but still getting down there on all runs. Not a great look to open up the game. We'll see if they can change their game plan to fit. The starting running back holding the kick for the backup running back there. Good amount of depth. Heading back deep is DeAndre Barnes.
Yeah, here it's going to be a really big defensive battle. Regis just totally collapsed there. You can see it. After they got that face mask penalty, they kind of got very bit demoralized. They just weren't playing what they can play. We already know that. We've seen that throughout the season, how this defense can control this game. And so here, Pomona's need to put up a nice defense as well. It's just going to be a defensive battle. It might be even a low-scoring game here.
I mean, coming into the game, you would assume a low-scoring game based on the talent of this defense, but one drive, 3 minutes, 7 points on the board for Pomona may indicate a little different. We'll see how this plays out. Place kicker, number 25, Anthony Sawwagged. Sawwagged's kick. Heads deep, fielded by Barnes. Barnes will take this one out, has a hole up the middle. Can he hit it? He does, but brought down. A hole opened up for Barnes up the middle. Good blocking there on the interior of the kick return team. Opening up that hole. Barnes hit it, but tackled by his legs. It'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Raiders. About the 30 or 31-yard line, just in between. Looks like they'll actually spot it on the 31.
Yeah,
says 30 on the board.
That was really good blocking there. Blocking on kick return is one of the hardest jobs. There's just so much open field, and you have to control your guy. You can't be called for holding. Things like that, it's very hard to do.
So we'll see Carroll for the first time out of the shotgun. Older brother Carroll in the backfield. Got Pomona to jump. There will be a flag. A little bit of a delayed reaction there. A few Pomona players that jumped off sides. So it will be encroachment. That just slightly delayed flag reminds me when you have like a concussion and you go to the doctor and they like test your reflexes by knocking on your knee and it's just a little slow because your reflexes are slow from a concussion. That's what it felt like, where it was a tick off. It was strangely slow. We'll see Carroll out of the shotgun, takes the snap, drop back. Looking down the field, has Barnes just a little too far. Carroll had Barnes. DeAndre Barnes getting open there, shaking number 2, Marcus Talbert. Of course, doesn't take a whole lot from Barnes to shake his man, fastest man in the state. We mention it constantly coming into today with 595 receiving yards, 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's so speedy that as a DB, you're going to have to play zone, basically. Like, playing man is going to be the hardest thing, and playing aggressive man is going to be nearly impossible to hold him down.
Carroll. Shotgun snap. It's a speed option. He'll keep it himself. Carroll trying to break a tackle on 2nd and medium, and he'll make it a 3rd and short. 3rd and short upcoming for the Raiders. Extremely important spot in the game. Realize it's just the Raiders' first drive, but the way that offense moved down the field for Pomona, you're going to have to put some points up yourself. We'll see the Carroll and Carroll duo in the backfield. Carroll takes the snap, design quarterback run, up the middle. Carroll looks like he got it, and he did. Xander Carroll, design quarterback run, up the middle, and moves the sticks.
That's really the threat that Xander Carroll is. He's got that arm. You see that pass was almost a perfect dot to DeAndre. Just a little bit off. You can work on that very easily, very quickly in the game. but that run speed that he has and that strength that he has is huge.
Carroll takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking. Barnes has him over the middle. First down, DeAndre Barnes. And with that catch, Barnes call from the sideline. Receivers, Taylor, bottom of your screen. Barnes at the top. Ecubon in the slot. Wyrock is out there at tight end. Carroll sends Barnes in motion. Will keep it himself. Carroll up the middle, has a hole and a first down.
There it is again. I keep pushing this fact. Carroll's speed is just crazy. He can fake it out. You cannot trust anything that man does. He can either dish it off to that running back, and that running back's going to go, or he's going to keep it, and he's going to go.
Especially when we talk about the running back combo. We haven't seen both of them tonight. We've only seen Carroll, but this thunder and lightning duo of Carroll and Medina is deadly. We are going to take a quick injury timeout on the Raiders Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on producer, bunch of people up top for camera. We will see you in just a moment after we come out of this break. Thank you. Back out of a timeout on the Raiders Sports Network. We have Carroll in the shotgun on 1st and 10. Carroll, low snap, looking outside, has Barnes. Barnes on the comeback route catches that one and makes it a 2nd and medium after a gain of around 6. DeAndre Barnes, fastest man in the state, will always drop that one.
And that's a really good pass there. Just getting those, 4 to 5, 6 yard plays there. You're going to move down the field over time. Actually, what that's going to do is that's going to demoralize that defense. If you get them on a 3rd down drive and they get that 1st down, it's going to hurt them.
Carroll from the shotgun will send Taylor in motion. Looks like a blitz. He'll hand off up the middle. Carroll with a hole, banging through bodies and picking up a 1st down. Raiders move the chains as this Carroll and Carroll duo is putting in work tonight against this Pomona front.
And there, Carroll's a big guy. He's got those shoulders. You need to make that hole huge, and that's exactly what this O-line did. You got to give him props for that one.
I talked to him a few weeks ago. I said a little bit of a bowling ball comparison, kind of like I'm blanking on the name, Jags running back, early 2010s.
Oh, I cannot come up
Oh,
with
man. Goodness. I'll marinate in that thought here. As Carroll will send Barnes in motion, touch pass, DeAndre Barnes going around the outside. Looks like the defense has set the edge. Barnes cuts up and looks like he'll get back to around the line of scrimmage. Looks like they may mark him for a 1 or 2 yard loss on 1st down. Brings up a 2nd and 12. Good play design, but Pomona just set the edge.
Yeah, Pomona had almost half their defense, even I would say 80% of their defense over on the side that he was running to. Receivers weren't getting their blocks off as well as they probably could, and getting that O-line around to get those blocks as well was not working.
Shotgun snap, Carroll, a pitch outside to Carroll. He cuts up the middle. Good cut there to get back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe about 2 yards past it. They'll bring up a 3rd and 10. Looks like Carroll was stopped in the backfield. 2 consecutive plays of Pomona setting the edge, as we'll see Metzger check in. Looks like Wyrock will check out.
Yeah, and here, coming from me, not 100% sure, but I'm expecting a pass play. They've been working so far for this Raider defense. Or offense, This Raider offense, those quick little passes are just working really well for them.
We'll see if they decide to go with that. Carroll will send Taylor in motion across formation. Takes the snap, design rollout right, looking downfield towards the end zone. Barnes just too high. Carroll can't hit him. Looks like it was a late hit.
late hit. And also, I noticed there in the backfield a little bit of chippiness coming from Pomona there, pushing another player's head into the ground. You don't really want to see that stuff. You can see it while the play is going on, but after the play, there's not a point.
Yeah, like we like fire, we like trash talk. Maybe we don't like the NFL taunting rule here. Just a little hot take here on the Raider Sports Network. Maybe we don't like that, but we also don't like, having a player's face shoved in the ground. There's no need for that. Throw a little trash talk out there, but once it gets to that point, we like to see the players protected. This is high school sports, As Murphy will come on to attempt a field goal, but not before a charged timeout. Looks like that one will go against the Raiders.
Regis.
So with that Raider timeout, we are also going to take a timeout here on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. Nick Marks on producing. Bunch of people on camera up top. You're watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network. Back out of a timeout on the Raider Sports Network. Ty Murphy was going to attempt a field goal, but looks like it could be a false start.
Prior to snap, false start. Number 10 of the offense. 5-yard penalty.
So that'll make a tough Raider field goal even tougher. Murphy has the leg, and you're in no man's land already. You can't punt from here. Not sure the direction of the wind. Have my view blocked of the flag by our 30-year-old wooden broadcast booth. Murphy sweeps the leg. Oh, my goodness, a beauty. That one was good from 50. No, it wasn't. Oh, my goodness, I'm losing my mind. Wait, what? Oh.
Looks like it just went.
Oh, goodness. I had a... Sorry, I can't even hear you through my headset. I had a moment, just like earlier this week, if you were watching Monday Night Football, where I forget who it was. I forget who was calling it, but a kick that was well short for about 15 yards, and whoever was on play-by-play said it hit off the upright. That's this moment, but possibly worse. Oh boy, we don't have a great angle. I personally thought it went in, had the distance. It would have been good from 50 if they had, pushed the goalpost over a decent way. Oh boy. End around here going outside. Raiders trying to set the edge, hit hard, and dropped. Xavier Carroll with the hit.
That's a good hit there. Oh my gosh.
I may never recover from that, ladies and gentlemen. I may never recover. Do I need LASIK at 17 already? Is this where it ends?
Yeah, there it was just really good running there from the defense or offense. I mean,
yeah. Kaler takes the shotgun snap, handoff up the middle. Mueller. We've seen it look kind of like a read option from these plays where the quarterback, is thinking about taking it himself. When you look at the stats, just purely stats only, it doesn't seem like he's taking it often, at least in the regular season. We haven't seen stats from last playoff game against, I believe it was Castleview. We will also try to keep you updated on the Mountain Vista Sherry Creek game tonight.
Yeah, and here that read option, I mean, you can glance at the QB for a quick second, but he's not going to keep it.
Same deal here. Mueller up the middle. Looks like he may have gotten the first down yardage. They're only really exploiting holes up the middle. We've seen them go to the outside maybe twice, but Mueller's runs have mostly come from holes opening up the middle. Cam, if you're the defensive coach here, what do you do to your defensive line to, really stop this run?
You know, what they're mainly pushing Pomona offense is they're pushing those A's and B gaps. What you want to do is just get either a strong side or even a weak side linebacker, just blow through those gaps and take out that running back.
Kaler from the shotgun takes the snap. He'll throw this time, looking outside. Pass complete and hit immediately. DT3, Dervin Taylor III hitting him hard, but a gain of around 4.
Yeah, we have, looks like we might have an injury on the field.
So with that, we are going to take a quick timeout on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production, and a bunch of people on camera up top. We will see you in just a moment. Thank Back out of a timeout on the Raider Sports Network. A second and around 6 upcoming for the Pomona Panthers. We've seen Muller a lot tonight. We'll see Kaler out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff. He'll keep it himself and met. Xavier Carroll wanted it more. Went up the middle, threw him to the ground, and a tackle for loss. Looks like they're not going to give him much of a loss there. I thought he dragged him behind the line. Maybe forward progress of some kind.
Oh my God. Okay, there it was just really. I honestly thought he got tackled at about 2 or 3 yards in the backfield.
Yeah.
But that's the play.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about it. He's not the fastest QB out there. Him keeping the ball might kind of be a death sentence here for Pomona.
Kaler will work out of the shotgun on a third line. He's running right up the middle. Kaler stuffed. A wall of Raiders meets him. And the Raiders hold on a third down. Looks like the ball will head back to the Raiders. A huge, crucial stop there, as you may have seen. A missed field goal earlier in the game leaves it where we are now at 7-0. If you only listened to me, I don't know if you would have known that field goal was missed, but it was. So 7-0. As we'll see the punt team come on for the Pomona Panthers.
And that's what we want to see there from that Raider defense, locking down that run game. You lock down that run game, you lock down Pomona's offense.
Saugot kicks it deep. A fair catch called for by Macias. It bounced. Macias taken down. Good tackle there on punt coverage. Good gunner play. Very underappreciated gunner play throughout the league.
Yeah, that punt was actually very well done. It landed right in front of Dallas. That's where it bounced. Dallas has to pick that up, or it's going to bounce a couple yards back, and they're going to get even worse field placement from that.
As you mentioned, yeah, it was a good mental decision by Macias. Raiders with 17 seconds in the first quarter on the clock. Trail by 7 at home from Lou Kellogg Stadium. First round, at least for the Raiders, of playoff action. Second round total in the Chassa playoffs, as we see Macias in motion, snap to Carroll. Handoff up the middle. That's Anthony Medina. He'll gain a good few. Make it a second and around 6. So it will be a 2nd and 6 as the clock ticks down, says 2nd and 5 on the board, but we won't see that this quarter as we're going to have to wait till they switch sides. Thank you for joining us for first quarter action on the Raiders Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler and Nick Marks on production. Whole lot of people up top. Your Raiders trail 7-0, but there's still 3 quarters of play left. We'll see you in just a moment on the Raiders Sports Network. Back with you on the Raiders Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler on color commentary. As the Raiders will begin their second drive of the game. First drive stalled out, got hurt by penalties and a missed field goal. We'll see what this drive brings. Macias in motion, the look outside, get it to him. Macias makes a man miss, wears his ankles as he picks up the first down. He said, "Sir, let me step by you." Sweeped off the ground by him and took off for a first down. Dallas Macias showcasing that speed.
Yeah, we haven't really seen that, I would say, from Dallas too much. That speed that he has, those quick little feet movements that you have to read in a split second. And he just showed that off tonight, taking some ankles with it.
Yeah, putting those in a bone bag right there and carrying them home.
Collecting
My
them.
goodness.
Putting them in a bag, throwing it over his shoulder, and collecting them.
Carroll will send Taylor in motion. Another play to the other side. Same play, screen for Taylor trying to fight a man off. He'll pick up a few on first down. Gain of around 2.
I would say this Pomona defense is picking up that screen decently well. Looks like a timeout here.
So with that, we are also going to take a timeout on the Raiders Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production, and a whole bunch of people up top. You're watching Raider football on the Raiders Sports Network. Back out of a timeout on the Raiders Sports Network. Hudson Ridley joined by Cam Buehler. They'll get this clock started again after a Pomona injury timeout.
Yeah, and what I was going to say before this unfortunate injury timeout is that the Pomona defense is picking up this screen decently well, I'd say. They usually always have one man on that wide receiver. If he gets past him, he's going to get a couple more yards, but it's still getting read decently well.
Man in motion, Taylor behind formation, taking the snap, looking downfield, has Barnes off his hands. Can't reel it in. And we're going to take another quick timeout on the Raiders Sports Network for an injury. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. You're watching Raider football on the Raiders Sports Network.
here. And what I was going to say here, again, before this injury, I keep getting kind of cut off by them.
Yeah.
DeAndre, he's a very good wide receiver, but he is fast, and he's fast thinking, too. He was looking down the field by the time that ball was hit his hands. He has to look that ball in, like Randy Moss.
Very well said, Cam. Carroll in the shotgun, dropping back, looking downfield. He'll float this one to no one. Maybe a little miscommunication there. You know what I thought was going to happen? Number 66, Tyler Berteau, was going to turn around and catch the screen and go all the way downfield like we saw Robert Hunt do last night in Thursday Night Football, taking it for a touchdown, but being an illegal receiver. Unfortunately, that didn't happen there, and unfortunately for the Raiders, a fourth down is ball is high for Gehrig. He'll get this punt off. This one straight up in the air. It'll take an unfortunate bounce for the Raiders and keep going. Finally fielded by Josiah Harris, but not a lot of field position gained by the Raiders. Pomona already up 7-0. Will get the ball back close to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and we saw here right before this kind of long, semi-long Raiders drives, just because of injuries and things like that. The Raiders' defense was holding Pomona's offense, mainly their run game, which is like their whole offense. They were holding them down there for those last couple of plays.
We'll see Kaler and Muller. Looks like that won't be Kaler. Looks like we'll see number 17, Dion Mays, possibly. It'll be a handoff right side, Muller. Muller running over the right tackle will gain around 3. 2nd and 7 on the way.
Looks like they had a QB under center, 2 guys in the backfield. That's going to be a hard read there for Raiders defense. They have to read 3 different people. They got to read the first guy coming through. They got to read Muller, who's going to be their prime guy more likely than not. And then also the QB that's going to keep the ball possibly coming out.
If I'm this Raiders defense, though, based on the...
You can control what penalties get called on you.
Mm-hmm.
To an extent.
To an extent, yes, to an extent. You can't Tony Correnti it like the beginning of the week. Maybe we'll see that player running off the field. He just gives a little hip check there. It is a possibility. We'll see Kaler under center. He'll take the snap, handoff running left side. Muller has a hole. Bowls over a few defenders and gets to around the first down.
Yeah, and there with Nooney, our, defensive end specialist. Him being out, those defensive ends really have to show what they can do. And watching that there, you saw him get flushed out of his gap immediately. If he was able to stand there, that would have been a loss for yards.
Like you mentioned a lot tonight, those gap assignments are so important. And, if you crowd that A gap, crowd the B gap, right? They can bounce it to the outside. You have speed as a fullback handoff. Looks like Mays up the middle. He'll get to around the first down. Looks like he'll be short by around a yard.
Dive wasn't this long this time,
Yeah, we could see a dive right here. Go for about 2-3 yards, get marked about 20 yards down the field. What do you think?
Maybe.
Possibility?
Possibility. Looks like they brought in a wide receiver, though, a new one, 28.
Yes, we have a wide receiver into the game. Can't imagine, though, with this rush offense, that to be in a jump from the Raider defensive line. Another jump. Penalties absolutely shredding the Raiders thus far. As a first down for the Panthers. Already up 7-0. Now deeper into Pomona half.
And there's been 3 penalties called on Raiders defense tonight, and they've all been ones that, the first one was debatable, but the last 2 have been very controllable by the defense.
100%, I would agree. And, it doesn't even sound like they're hard counting from here. I know we have headphones on, but we still have a good, hearing ability of the game as a handoff up the middle. Muller, that ability from Muller to run just behind the center in either guard has been amazing tonight, picking up around 4 to 5 yards a gain. When you're running up the middle nearly every single play, as we did hear from the crowd, I'd run behind number 78 too. Hey, me too. I mean, it's right. Number 78, absolutely massive on that offensive line, but when they're running up the middle, I'd stack the box. I'd get some guys in there like they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Only one DB on the outside. Handoff. Mueller makes a cut, bangs into a defender. Looks like forward progress will stop him. He'll be short of the first down, but based on his yards per carry, looks like they could go back to Mueller for a third time. How many carries do you think he has? We have to ask the stats people at halftime. Because I'd imagine he has a ridiculous amount of carries at this point.
Yeah, what I'm going to say here, Mueller, what I'm noticing over and over again, he can take a hit.
Oh, yeah.
But what I'm also noticing, he can take a hit, but Regis is standing straight up. They're allowing the running back to hit them.
Yeah.
Their defense, they got to hit them first.
Low man wins. As a handoff up the middle, Mays looks like he's going to fight for the first down. They can't bring him down. Mays finally taken down, but a fullback dive picking up around 7. What are we, in 1962? First down Panthers.
It's a very, I wouldn't say tall offense out here. I know we're kind of from a different angle. It's hard to see, but they're a decently shorter-sized offense, but that means they can get lower a lot easier than Regis can, because Regis has some very tall players.
Fully agreed. So with that timeout by the Raiders, their second charge of the half, we are going to take a timeout on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson. In just a moment, you're watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network. Back with you after that timeout on the Raider Sports Network. First down and 10 upcoming for the Pomona Panthers. Handoff. Mueller will get it again up the middle. Another run up the middle by Mueller.
A little less yardage this time, though, only getting about 2, which is not what he's been doing so far tonight.
Yeah, usually we've seen Mueller break off long runs up the middle, just constantly pushing that defensive front, and you know it's not the size of the Raiders that's hindering them. They have Jaden Franklin out there, block eater extraordinaire. It has to be something else that has to be schemed to change this defensive front, because as of right now, they haven't been able to stop Mueller at all. Second and around 8. We'll see Kaler with Mueller. Handoff Mueller up the middle, brought down. Didn't pick up the first down. I gotta say, if I'm sponsoring anyone to run a marathon ever, it's gonna be Mueller. I mean, he's getting carry after carry after carry. He doesn't look tired. I gotta say, that is extremely impressive, especially if you're getting hit.
Yeah,
wow.
Here, what I'm noticing as that defense, these DNs are just getting pushed. They're pushing their man super far deep into the backfield, but then they're just letting Mueller, usually Mueller, 99% of the time, Mueller, to just go through that C gap that's on the outside.
Kaler on third down. Guess what? Handoff Mueller. No one stopped him up the middle. Again, the Raiders allow a touchdown, and again, it goes right up the middle.
Which gap was that? Was that the...
it looked like a gap.
It looked like a gap.
It looked like a gap. If you're getting shot up the gap on 99% of plays to the same spot, up the middle, you have the defensive line to combat this.
You got the linebackers
but yet
to combat
he gets to the second level every single play.
That's got to be a blitz call.
Yeah.
Getting those linebackers in those gaps.
Yeah, and based on their based on their pass attempts, like per game, 6.5 per game, that doesn't indicate that when teams blitz, they're working with a blitz counter, right? They're not throwing it once they get in blitzing-like situations. They're getting taken down in the backfield. They're not picking up those yards. The Raiders down 14-0 at home haven't been able to stop the run all night long. Something has to change. Raiders getting prepared to field this kickoff. Barnes back deep to return.
Number 17, DeAndre Barnes, deep to the Raiders.
Oh boy, based on this Pomona rushing attack, things aren't looking very good.
We got to see the offense here convert those short passes that we've been seeing working so far. Just keep doing them. Really, that's all we have to do.
Mm-hmm. I think our biggest thing here on the Raider Sports Network in terms of advocating for certain plays, we just want a drag route to DeAndre Barnes. Can we get a drag route to DeAndre Barnes? They'll do an option here. Carroll will pick up a few, but he was met at the line. On that read option, multiple defenders getting in the backfield and stuffing him early. Looks like they're going into a bit of a hurry up here. Snap is low, looking for Ecubon, has him over the middle, and Ecubon can't hold on. Looks like that one would have moved the sticks. Ball came in hot. Ecubon couldn't hold on, and a 3rd and long on its way.
That good play call, though. Execution at the end didn't come through, but you saw there he was wide open. I mean, I saw maybe a white shirt, maybe a yard off him, and Ecubon can move up.
Speed option here, picks up a block. Carroll finds a hole, tripped up, but a Raider first down, and they're down to the 30-yard line.
That's the bowling ball that we keep talking about. You get him going, and he keeps rolling.
Clock is ticking to around 4 minutes, but that's where it will stop. So we are going to take a quick timeout here on the Raider Sports Network for injury. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production, a whole bunch of people up top. You're watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network. Back with you out of timeout on the Raider Sports Network. Raiders picking up a first down. They were in the hurry-up. Maybe they'll continue here as clock starts winding under 4 minutes. Carroll out of the speed option. Looks like they're just going to try to contain here, but you can't contain the speed of Xander Carroll to the end zone. Raiders narrow the gap. Touchdown! But a flag, a flag, a flag. Oh my goodness, a flag. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh!
Okay, so despite the flag, we're going to talk about that play there. That play, getting Xander Carroll on that outside. Oh, what a call. Getting Xander Carroll to that outside and moving him around that defense is so good. It is amazing to watch. Don't like the call, but that happens in the game.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. I spoke with the back judge before the game, and he told me he's going to be watching the broadcast. Maybe turn it off. Maybe turn it off. Carroll looks like he'll work out of the shotgun here. Takes the snap, another speed option. He'll keep it himself again, but met. He'll pick up decent yardage on first down, but after that hold, that's going to still keep him in a bit of a hole.
We get a drag route to DeAndre. Drag route to DeAndre.
Drag route to DeAndre, please. Drag route to DeAndre, please. I'm fiending for a drag route to DeAndre. Oh, goodness. Okay. Man in motion. Looking pump fake. Looking downfield. He'll take off. Carroll had receivers downfield. He'll take it himself. And he'll work it to make it about a 3rd and 11. Carroll's rush picks up a few.
We did talk about this Pomona pass defense. It is very good, but I do think we have the skill as wide receivers to get the ball deep and get a good pass going.
Carroll rolling out, looking deep. Carroll throwing for Macias. Sugar and catch. He made the catch. Dallas Macias with one of the most improbable catches you'll ever see on the Raiders Sports Network. Oh my goodness, he came down with it.
That right there, people say, oh, it's luck, it's things like that. Yeah, sure, it was lucky that it was bobbled up in the air and he had time, but he had time to focus on that ball, look at it, and look at it come into his arms.
And that's a touchdown. The Raiders narrow the gap. You can't call a holding on pure muscle right there. Pomona 14, Raiders 6, pending the extra point.
Like I was talking, Dallas there, that is the mindset you need. That ball was up in the air. It was anybody's ball at that point, and he got it. He looked into it. He saw the ball. He stared at it with his eyes, shot it into his hands, and that's an amazing catch.
I believe, was it Tyler Lockett who made a catch like that in the Super Bowl way long ago? I know we probably have a lot of Broncos fans listening. I think it was against the Broncos. Snap is good. Hold is good. And extra point is good. So with that, the Raiders narrow the gap to 7. We're going to take a quick timeout here on the Raiders Sports Network as we prepare for kickoff. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production, whole bunch of people up top on camera. You're watching Raider football on the Raiders Sports Network. Back with you on the Raiders Sports Network after the Raiders have narrowed the gap to 7. We have no quarrels against, of course, the Raider offense. We know they can score. We know they can score against this Pomona defense, especially using that pass game, as we saw a big chunk of yardage was picked up there. The question is the defense. They've been getting ran on all night. Mueller up the middle nearly every single play as this one gets kicked back all the way deep. Not going to let him return. Good kick from Dylan McCullough, and we'll see if the defense can finally contain this Panther run game.
Yeah, what we're seeing here, you got to adapt because they're going through here. We've been talking a little bit, and it looks like the best option here for that trench game is going to be a 5-3. Having 5 men on that line is so dangerous and deadly, and especially the size advantage that Regis does have. I mean, it's very minimal, but it's there. That's going to be used with the 5-3.
I'm gonna manifest a 5-3 right here. Not gonna turn too Crystal Girl here. We're gonna be manifesting a 5-3. Twitter would love that joke. I don't know how many people would understand that on the broadcast.
Peyton Moore, he is a speed demon. He's a tall guy, but he is quick with his feet, and he's able to get to those deep ball positions.
I believe he recently took a visit to Texas Tech, so
he was offered.
Yes. He was offered from Texas Tech. Peyton Moore offered from Texas Tech. That's not who you want to see out there if you're Pomona. Looks like it could be a direct snap here. Nope, Kaler is in the backfield. Mueller is with him. Guess what? Handoff Mueller. But this time, he's not getting anywhere. Picked up off his feet and driven back.
That's what we like to see. This defense is finally coming. It's finally coming together. They got that moral boost, definitely from that offense there, from Dallas's insane catch to then getting a touchdown right after that. That's going to boost them, and they're going to play a lot better. It can be a mental game.
So a timeout for the Raiders. That will be their third and final charge timeout of the half. And with that, we are also going to take a timeout here on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production, whole bunch of people up top. You're watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network. Back with you on the Raider Sports Network for a huge 3rd and 15.
Might see a pass play here.
I know. How crazy would that be? Shotgun snap. They will pass. Or will they? Running here and brought down. Only a gain of 1. A minute 30 on the clock, but the Raiders already took their last time out.
That's what we're talking about here. Those corners and the safety, the Regis safety and corners are so good that you can even run a blitz on something that's probably going to be a pass play and get really good defensive stops.
4th and 14 on the way. Raiders do not have a timeout, can't stop the clock, going to need an absolute miracle bomb at this point before the first half ends. The Raiders did defer, so they will receive the second half kickoff, but probably going to look to get some points on the board before that happens. Before the clock expires, the play clock expires, Pomona will take a timeout. So with that, we're going to take a quick timeout here on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production, a whole bunch of people up top. You're watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network. Scoring a touchdown on their last drive, have 43 seconds, going to look to do the same thing, but points are points, and I'm sure they'd take either.
Roughly 43 seconds can come down to maybe 2 plays. Depends. It really depends on what they run here. If they're going to run a deep pass route, it's going to be a play and a half.
Just all depending on whether or not they stay in bounds, though. Because if they stay in bounds, it could be 2-3 plays. But if they're getting out of bounds, you could make this work to like 6 plays, 5-6 plays. We'll see Carroll take the snap. Oh, tipped on the line. Pass intended for Macias. Great defensive play there. Looks like that was Mayes who made the play. We'll bring up a 2nd and 10, but the clock does stop. If they did get it to Macias there, he was pretty far on the field, so probably wouldn't have been able to get out of bounds and stop the clock. Carroll taking the snap, rolling out, going to keep his eyes downfield, but he's going to take off. Carroll, with room, picks up the first down and gets out of bounds.
That's game IQ right there that we just saw from Carroll, seeing that he can get 10 yards pretty easily and then go out of bounds at the same time, stopping the clock and getting forward. It looks like he got 9 yards, actually.
Oh, they're not going to give him the first down? Oh, what? I think he got the first down. But I did also think they hit that field goal earlier in the game, so I'm going blind, I guess. Carroll will roll out right, handoff. Carroll makes a nice jump cut. Carroll picks up a block, cutting to the left side. Carroll a stiff arm as he heads out of bounds, and he picks up a first down.
24 seconds left on the clock there. Good decision to go out of bounds and not get taken down. I thought maybe for a second he was going to get taken down, and I got a little scared. But it looks like he made the good football IQ decision to go out of bounds with it.
Yeah, and a good stiff arm thrown there, by the way, by Carroll to drive him a little further, drive that defender a little further out of bounds as he was carried with him. First down. Carroll and Carroll both out there. Carroll, snap is low. Looking downfield, pocket collapsing. Carroll takes off up the middle. Carroll makes a cut and dives. 18 seconds on the clock, ticks down to 17. They're going to have to spike the ball. Raiders get up to the line. Can they clock it? 16 on the clock because they have to respot it.
What?
They're gonna move the ball back far. Well, okay. They're gonna wind the clock. Carroll will spike it. I mean, he got to the place. The ref spot the ball, and then the other ref was like, "Yo, nah." He came up, took the ball from him, moved him back a few yards while the clock was running.
Should be, 15 seconds on the clock.
All right, 12 seconds. We got 12 seconds on the clock for the Raiders to shoot for the end zone. He's got Taylor over the middle, and Taylor drilled. Pass behind his head, got picked up and speared into the ground, and a 3rd and 10 on its way. Excuse me, 2nd and 10. So the spotter has it as 3rd. It will be a 2nd and 10, I believe. 3rd and 10. Oh, they spiked the ball. That's right. That's right. Oh, my goodness. I'm losing my mind. They're going to kick a field goal with 5 seconds.
Might be the smarter choice. Get some points on the board there.
Yeah, points are points. If you hit this, you go down 4. That's, not the worst thing in the world. And you defer. So, getting points, you got to hope on your opening drive of the second half. But just getting points here, that's really what's important. You made a drive in 43 seconds. Let's see if Murphy can convert. Ty Murphy, the kick. Snap is good. Hold is good. The kick is missed. Murphy missed the kick again. I waited on the signal this time, was hoping to see something good, but again, a miss. It looked good again to me, so I'm glad I didn't say anything.
That's halftime.
But that will take us to half. So, Raiders trail by 7 at the half. 14-7 your score. Haven't been able to stop the run yet. We'll see if that continues in the second half. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler on color commentary, Nick Marks on production, whole bunch of people up top and on the sideline. We will see you for the second half of action. You're watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network.
Kicking out for Pomona, 25.
Back. Switch headset. Back with you for second half action on the Raiders Sports Network. Raiders trail 14-7, but they deferred the first half, so they will get the ball to start this second half. And with that, we are off for second half of action here from Lou Kellogg Stadium. A high kick fielded by Barnes. Barnes looking for a crease. Cuts to the outside, runs into some bodies. Later tossed down, starting off with fairly decent field positioning as he crosses the 25. So it's getting progressively colder out here. We started the game by saying, no, it's not that cold. It's getting that cold, I will say.
Got a beanie on now. Got to keep that head a little warm.
Mm-hmm. I'm putting my hood around my headset right now because it's getting a little chilly. Didn't bring gloves to hold my play sheet, or not play sheet, but roster with. If I had a play sheet, you know what I would call? A drag to DeAndre Barnes. Let's see if they do that. Shotgun snap, handoff Carroll. He'll run right side, picks up a block, sheds a tackle. Carroll up the middle, still working. An angry run from Xavier Carroll, and that's how we'll start the second half of action. Kept the legs moving.
That's the bowling ball that we've been pushing out all season. You get him rolling, and he's going to knock down some pins out there.
If you've ever watched the PBA, that bowling ball analogy, you know how they have a little spin on it sometimes? Carroll's got a little bit of jukes there, equivalent to that spin. Snap a little off ball on the ground. Both Carrolls dive on it. We'll see who ends up with it. Looks like Xander Carroll will be the one to pick it up. But that play on first down doesn't result in anything. They get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a 2nd and 10. Snap was just a little off there, and it messed up the exchange on the handoff. Everything just got off of rhythm. We'll see Carroll out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff. Carroll tried to make a man miss, but a good tackle there from Mays. Tackled in the backfield, losing about one, but just a fantastic tackle.
Really, really good tackle getting on his feet. It was a shoelace tackle, but shoelace tackles are still tackles, so you have to count it.
A tackle's a tackle, and points are points, and the Raiders are going to try to get some points on this drive, but facing a tough 3rd and 10, we'll see if they can do that. Carroll, shotgun snap, looking over the middle for Ekuban. Does he hold on? Looks like he does.
Flag on the play.
Hands from Edzer Ekuban. Flag on the play. Looks like it could go against the defenses. Looked like Muller, who's also out there on defense, could have gotten in too soon. We'll await the call here as Ekuban jogs to the sideline. Good hands from him on that play. We've seen him sit down in zones before. And yes, that penalty is declined against Pomona. So it'll be a first down for the Raiders, only trailing by 7. They could equalize with a touchdown and an extra point, or you could take the lead with the 2-point conversion. Not sure they'll do that, though, as we'll see Carroll out of the shotgun, speed option with Medina. He'll pitch it. The speed of Medina. Lightning gets banged. Lightning hits Thunder, but a flag.
It was a very good pitch there by Xander keeping that ball. I honestly thought he was going to keep it, and he ditched it off at the last perfect second.
Yeah, it was a last-second pitch. We have a flag here on the play. Not sure who it'll go against. If you know how this has been going this way, it could be a hold against the Raiders, but it was a helmet-initiated hit. Nope. They'll go illegal block in the back on the Raiders.
Who was that on?
I couldn't tell. I'm literally standing about 3 feet from the PA speaker. Couldn't tell you. So now, this is a 1st and 20. Carroll, the snap, Medina up the middle, and a run on 1st and 20 gets stuffed. Gained a couple there. Looked like he had a hole, but nice tackle by the Pomona defender. It'll bring up 2nd and long and keep the clock running after a gain of around 6. Not even. Oh, boy, was I way off?
3.
I was. Gain of about 3, but they'll mark it 2 on the board. Not 6. Very far from 6. Carroll will work out of the shotgun. Takes a drop. He'll take off himself. Has blocking on the outside. Carroll has a seam down the sideline and wisely steps out of bounds. Xander Carroll, a lightning in a bottle run as he moves the chains on 2nd and 18 for the Raiders. First down.
Really showing his speed there with that game time decision to keep that ball. Good defense there. I'd say good secondary defense there by Pomona, and even better run there by Xander.
Yeah, he had his eyes downfield, but just decided to take off as we'll see a shotgun snap here. Carroll up the middle. Carroll fighting through tacklers. He breaks a tackle. You can't bring down Xavier Carroll. Bowling ball run gets him nearly 10, and the Raiders heating up like a microwave, baby. Beep, beep, beep.
And that is a mindset that you got to have there, almost getting taken down and then keep moving like that. That's something hard to do. You can't always be doing that, but
Raiders get quick to the line. Fakes the handoff. Carroll up the middle. He'll cut. Carroll to the end zone. Banging into bodies. Will he get it? They'll say he's just short. It'll be on basically the inch line. You could sneeze on the ball and push it across. Don't know if that's a play in the playbook, though. We'll see what they decide to go with. Raiders to the line. They're not going under center here. 3 receivers set, 2 to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the top. Man across motion. Formation is Metzger. Carroll will take the snap. Handoff. Carroll up the middle. Hits a body and hits the end zone. The Raiders are 1 point away from making a 14-point comeback to tie this game.
Really good drive there by the Raiders, even getting that really kind of blocking the back penalty that they had after an amazing play. Able to just keep their heads down and keep moving. That was just very impressive. It was just a fun drive to watch.
It was a fun drive to watch. That's hard-nosed football. That is hard-nosed football. As we will see Murphy to attempt the extra point. Macias, the holder, as this one, please tell me it splits the uprights. It does. It looks like every kick has gone through from my angle, and now this one actually goes through. Ty Murphy has us even here on the Raider Sports Network. We're going to take a quick break. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler and Nick Marks on production. You're watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network. Oh, hold that thought. They're coming back out. We will not take a quick timeout.
They want to keep it going.
They do. Raiders student section, by the way, slimming a little bit. Pomona, coming all the way from Arvada, actually having a fairly impressive student section.
Seeing here, we've been talking about it. Defense, especially Raiders defense here, has to show out in this half especially. I mean, they tied up the score. It's basically a 0-0 game right now. Mm-hmm. You got it locked down.
You certainly do. As we prepare for kickoff, a kickoff at least, as McCullough will send this one deep. Fielded on the back line, nearly dropped. Nice cut there, and he has a hole. Got around a ton of kick coverage defenders there, and a pancake there. There's a flag that has to be against Pomona. I mean, that's about as egregious of a holding as you get. Got him on the ground, and we like a nice pancake, but when you're chaining the guy to the ground, I mean, come on. Oh, let him breathe. Looks like that could hurt him.
Might be a block in the back, something like that. Really, that's something you got to control out there. We've been calling some of these calls you can't control, and that was one of them. I mean, it does hurt Pomona, which I'm kind of fine with.
Yeah.
I'm a little biased here, but it is something you can't control, and just as a player, you need to just not do that thing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, once you get them on the ground, you can stand up and keep pushing them back down to the ground, but, you know. Like when you suplex them, you dive on top of them. You know, there's no 1, 2, 3 counting in football here. As we'll see, Kaler takes the snap, handoff, running right side, a flag, and he's brought down by Macias.
Looks like there might be a holding call. I think I might have saw one though, but you know, can't be for sure as I am pretty far away from the actual field.
Yeah, I gotta say, usually we're able to see things like very clearly, especially calls, but from our distance here, you gotta let them take care of it. We'll see what they decide, and Oh, my goodness. A face mask against the defense.
It's to this game, actually, and I'm not really sure, as it did look like a below-the-waist tackle.
Yeah, that's what I imagined it would be.
As he was kind of thrown back, but of course, like we said, we can't really see the game. There could have been possibly a face mask in there.
Yep. Also, by the way, shout out to the Pomona equipment manager for apparently making a face mask that is the most pullable in the world. Be a 1st and 10 Panthers upcoming.
Come on, defense!
Kaler takes the snap, designed to the right, met by Gehrig. Woo! That's football right there. Big hit. Gehrig stayed in his lane, not lane, but contained on the outside and met him and got him to the ground.
Yeah,
That's what you need.
Really good defensive play here. Looks like there is an injury timeout going here, so Hudson, your little spiel.
Well, with that, we are going to take a quick timeout on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production, and up top, we got a whole bunch of people. You're watching Raider football on the Raider. Second and around 7 for Pomona. Snapped here. Carroll got him in the backfield and driven back by Hilliard. Tackled by a gang of Raider defenders, but met first by Xavier Carroll. Finished off, of course, by Logan Hilliard and a bunch of others. Carroll having himself a night. Both Carrolls, for that matter. Defense brings up a 3rd and long, around 9. We'll see if they can hold.
What we are getting is a good defensive game, and that's just what we want to see. You know, Regis, especially this drive, I mean, they haven't gotten past the 50, which is huge because they're a huge running team, and they've been doing it consistently. Mm-hmm. This drive, they've been contained really well.
I would fully agree with that. We'll see if they can keep it up on a 3rd and 9. Kaler takes the snap. He's actually going to pass, but quick pressure in there. Dodging a couple of tacklers, getting up the middle, met by Macias and taken down. Hayden Moore looked like he jumped on top to fully bring him down, but the Raiders force a 4th down, and all of a sudden that momentum is starting to tick, 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 tick the other way.
There, what I did notice at the end, it was a great play, but the one mistake, the one thing, was a defensive end. I'm not sure who exactly it was to jump in the air on a pump fake. That's just one thing you can't do. You always keep your feet on the ground. This ain't basketball. You're not going to swat. You might swat that pass, but odds are you're not.
This punt goes fairly deep. Fair catch signaled for by DT3, Dervin Taylor III. Sure hands there are going to bring up a 1st down from around the 37-yard line. Raiders making just a massive switching, the momentum in this game. Fantastic play thus far from the Raiders in the second half. Narrowed the score. Well, not only tied the score, about as narrow as you can get. Can't split an atom, Cam. Well, I guess you can.
You can,
I don't know. You can,
explosion.
but it caused a huge explosion. I'm no scientist. I just do the talking here.
Big thing here, momentum. You have star players, but momentum can change those not the greatest players to really good players, because now they're getting hyped up and they're getting that energy.
You're right, Cam. As we see Medina scamper for a few there. Looks like he was almost met in the backfield, but picked up a pretty huge block from Luke Ford. Will gain around 4.
Did somebody page me? Cindy O'Reilly?
Get just past the 1st down. A flag flies after the play. Oh, man.
Did you just say Cindy O'Reilly?
Oh, boy. I mean, who's it going to be on?
That's weird. Okay.
So that penalty going against Pomona, unnecessary roughness up the middle. Carroll trying to break a few tackles. Whoa, 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 whoa. Little voice crack here on the Raider Sports Network. We are quick to remind you we're a high school broadcast. That does happen every once in a while. Gonna get a little voice crack. You know the deal. Good gain from Carroll, as we'll see him again in the shotgun, takes the snap, looking downfield, pocket collapses, Carroll gets out, picks up a good block from Little, Carroll up the middle, and the Raiders are down near the 10. They'll mark him at the 12. I heard an uh-oh. Are we going to get a flag?
Flag, maybe?
Flag, possibly? No.
All right,
Okay,
well,
okay, there we go. I heard an uh-oh from the crowd, and my heart dropped. Looks like the Raiders are going to go quick here. Carroll out of the shotgun. Snap. Handoff up the middle. Carroll still moving his legs. Carroll not first and goal, but very close to the goal line. A complete reversal of fortunes for the Raiders.
yeah, that there, what I noticed, Carroll really took his time in the backfield moving the ball, and it was basically kind of like an NFL running back, making sure that gap is wide open so he can get those extra yards.
So we have a timeout taken by Pomona, possibly to stop a little bit of this Raider momentum, but that's what we like to see here on the Raider Sports Network. For us, I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production, whole bunch of people up top. You're watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network, all tied at 14. Back with you on the Raider Sports Network for a 2nd and 2 from about the 5-yard line. Carroll will take the snap. Quarterback run up the middle, lunging for it. Looks like he won't get it, but could have picked up the first down. So he will. 1st and goal from around the 1. It's like maybe they'll mark it at the 2. Raiders quick to the line, trying to force a miscommunication. Carroll has a hole, diving for the end zone. A flag is thrown. Don't be so quick to celebrate. Looks like they dropped him at the 1 anyway, possibly. That flag getting thrown could be absolutely brutal. It was a run play, so we might see a hold here. Oh, goodness. That would be an absolute killer. We shall see. Convention of zebras out here on the field by the 1-yard line, and given a little nature documentary. You see the zebras. A crowd of zebras. Habitat. A crowd of zebras by the goal line. Still not sure what the call will be. Offsetting penalties.
That is possibly the best moment to have an offsetting penalty. Usually just doesn't happen that much.
So there was a hold on the offense and an unsportsmanlike on the defense. So a first down, Raiders still offsetting penalties. My heart dropped, but oh boy, it's back. Pomona doing a little light show there from the crowd when we're on, like, I don't know, the 1? Might want to turn those lights off pretty quick. I don't know. You're only distracting your defense. The Raiders' offense can't even see them. Not sure the strategy behind that. If I'm the coach right here, though, the strategy behind this, run this one in.
Up the middle is going to be your best option here. They have it stacked on the outside, those DNs.
Pitch outside to Medina. Medina finds a hole. Good tackle. And another flag. Oh, my goodness. Another flag.
Yellow streaks in the air are going to be the death of me here.
Yeah, soon. I know. A lot of laundry on the field tonight. Tell them they don't need to throw it. They can just give it to me. I'll take it home and wash it. There's no need for these flags ruining the game. We'll move this one back clearly against the Raiders. Going to make what was a first and very short to first and very medium to a first and fairly long here. The Raiders will go.
Holding.
Yep. Raiders will go from about the 16, 18 they'll say. Handoff, Medina, running right side, picks up a good block, Medina, another block! And gets it close to the goal line. No flag there, or was there? Was there? No! There we go! No flag on the play.
Great run there by Medina. You can see his speed just coming out of there, coming out of that backfield and getting up close to basically where they were before.
Out of the shotgun, Carroll. He'll bounce it to the outside. Carroll picks up a big block from Luke Ford and gets into the end zone. Raiders storm all the way back to take a 6-point lead on the Pomona Panthers in the third quarter from Lou Kellogg Stadium. This is playoffs, baby.
And that is the blocking you want from a receiver. It's one of the most non-talked about parts of a receiver's game. Blocking is so hard to do as a receiver. There's so much open field that the defender can use, and that was just great blocking by Luke Ford, allowing Xavier to get that touchdown.
You're absolutely right. I mean, he just got moved. Ragdolled, some would say. Luke Ford just ragdolled the man. Scampering into the end zone for a touchdown. Looks like Pomona could have jumped off there. I'm going to wait on the signal. They will say it goes through. So with that, we're going to take a quick timeout on the Raiders Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler and Nick Marks on production. We will see you in just a moment. You're watching Raider football on the Raiders Sports Network. Raiders lead by 7. Back on the Raiders Sports Network, gearing up for McCullough's kickoff. Raiders lead by 7, 3:26 on the clock in the third quarter. There are 2 back deep to return. McCullough will send this one on the ground. Little bit of a bouncer, probably an intentional squib kick. Goes off the hands of the returner, and he's met. Mason Simonson brings him down.
There we go. That is
and a flag! A flag!
Oh,
a flag!
God.
Oh my goodness, a flag! Oh!
Well, without the flag, that was a great kick. Honestly, don't know if it was intentional or not. I'm going to say it was because of just how good of a kick it was, that bounce. You don't know where that ball is going. As the receiver, it's going to hit off your hand. He just kind of stared at the ball a little bit for a couple seconds as it was on the ground, which allowed Mason to get there for that tackle.
So there will be an unsportsmanlike conduct. If anyone watched Monday Night Football, I'm assuming that the Raiders glared at the other sideline menacingly in order to get that penalty.
And a hip bump.
And a hip bump. Oh, my goodness. Say it ain't so.
I am a Steelers fan, though. So.
Well, I am a Bears fan, so now we have a rivalry here. We couldn't even make it to the fourth. We couldn't even make it to the fourth, Cam. So a good tackle by Simonson on kick coverage negated, but will be a first down kind of deep in their territory as going up the middle. Looks like the ball could have came on the ground. Looks like they'll just be stopped, though, picking up that ball, but being in the backfield.
Losing about 5 yards there. That was a good defensive rush, actually. Excited to see something like that here coming from the Raiders defense. We haven't seen things like that so far. Looking like that's about to change here.
I would agree. Trying to process here. So it'll be a 2nd and 15. Raiders nearly jumping. Looks like they may change things here on the line. Looks like it'll be a handoff to the right side and falling down there. They might be relying, definitely not on an option, but a little bit of trickery like a Navy offense kind of, where you really only rely on trickery. Now they're not an option team, I'll tell you that, because if it's an option, their only option is pitch it to Mueller at this point. But like they're getting decent yardage out of what they're doing here, but it just in this second half, it just hasn't been it.
Especially because you're so deep in your own part of the field, and especially because you lost so many yards that first play. Trick plays aren't really going to be in your favor.
Quarterback scrambling here. Can he be met by Josiah Harrison? Drilled by Dallas Macias. Josiah Harris was the first to meet him. He was still on his feet. Dallas Macias said, "Sit down, boy. Sit down."
Good catch there by Josiah, keeping him in front of him. He doesn't have to always make that tackle. He just got to hold that guy down until another red shirt. That's just trusting your teammates that somebody else is going to go there and get that tackle as well.
Raiders forcing a punt. All of a sudden, I'm starting to feel a little warmer in here. Chance of the crowd coming for Harvey Island for Joshua Harvey. Don't think he's on the field. This punt will go sky high and will bounce right there. Joshua Harvey actually was out there and just absolutely mauled a dude on kick, just return there. Whoa. Alrighty.
Fun to see.
Very fun to see. We like special teams play on the Raider Sports Network. If you've been watching us for any period of time, you will know that me, Hudson Ridley, with Cam Buehler, we love good punters, good kickers like the Douglas County kicker a few weeks ago. We love good special teams play, right? That punt certainly wasn't like the best special teams play, but
Skyball.
Carroll will take this one from the shotgun, takes the snap a little high, going to the right side. It's a speed option he decides to keep. Carroll cutting up the middle and thrown down, but not before picking up around 7 yards.
Good keep by Carroll there. Honestly, I don't know what you could do there. There wasn't really a read option. You usually read what the DN does, but the DN wasn't even there to read. So
yeah, it might as well take it yourself. I mean, he trusts his own speed as we see both Carroll brothers in the backfield. It'll be a keeper there up the middle. Carroll is drilled, but looks like he has enough to move the sticks. Will he? It all depends on the spot, and they will. Raiders move the chains. Looks like they're getting to the line quick here. Macias will split out wide. Carroll from the shotgun takes the snap, handoff up the middle. Carroll fighting for yards. Pomona defense looks like they were trying to strip it there, but Carroll just too sure-handed on that play. Not going to happen. Makes it a 2nd and 3.
really good plays here that have just happened really quickly. I mean, I haven't had a word to get in. They've just been happening, and they've been happening fast, aggressive, and really, really well.
So that's where our quarter will end. The Raiders score 21 unanswered and are driving again. Thank you for tuning in for the first 3 quarters on the Raider Sports Network. We are so excited to bring you the fourth. I'm Hudson Ridley. Alongside Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production, whole bunch of people up top on camera. We will see you for the fourth quarter of action. Oh boy. You are watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network. Back with you on the Raiders Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production, as we get ready for a 2nd and 3 for the Raiders. 3 men in motion across.
He just blew through that O-line, that D-line. There was a pretty sizable gap in the A area, and just running through there. It was really nice.
We are just seeing a referee timeout here. They're taking their own timeout. Referees out there working hard today. We love our boys in the stripes. Isn't that right, Cam?
Oh, we love them.
We're all for the referees here. We'll see Carroll out of the shotguns. Handoff up the middle, diving for a few as Medina looked like he was stopped initially, but sprung forward after getting hit. Picked up a decent amount of yardage there, about 4.
4 is all you got to ask for. 4 to 3. Perfect yardage. 3 yards a run. You can get a first down every single time.
Little alliteration there, but you're not a rapper. You're not a rapper. A little alliteration there. We like that. Carroll and Medina in the backfield. O-line gets set. 3 receivers set. Carroll takes the snap. Looking downfield for the end zone. He has Barnes. Can't hold on. DeAndre Barnes nearly mossed him. I mean, he was...
Some fans aren't really... There might have been a taunting call, possibly. NFL rules.
NFL rules, yes.
But good, actually. I think that would have been almost a perfect catch by DeAndre there. Just pretty good defense there as well.
Nearly mossed him. I mean,
yeah.
Whoa. Carroll out of the shotgun on a 3rd down. He'll fake the pitch. Carroll up the middle. He'll take it himself, but he gets thrown to the ground. Carroll unable to pick up the first down. Looks like we're in field goal range. Are they going to go for it on a 4th and 5?
Personally, I would go for it here with the lead. You're going to either get that first down or give them bad field position.
Could try to make them jump as well. I mean, it would take a decent amount of time off your field goal. We'll see what happens here as they start to run the clock. They will go for it on 4th down. A huge play in this game. Carroll talking to his receivers. He'll take the snap. It's a speed option on 4th down. And he gets stopped. Carroll can't make it. And Pomona takes over on downs.
You know, personally, I'm not a coach out here, but I would not have run a speed option here. I would have run maybe a DeAndre drag route.
Oh, my goodness. No way. DeAndre drag route? I see, personally, I'm more of a fade to Luke Ford kind of guy in that spot, or let him go one-on-one with the receiver, or with the DB. Neither happened right there as a speed option got stuffed. And now the Raiders in the 4th quarter, they do lead by 7. But this offense's ability for Pomona to take time off the clock, only down by 7. This is a dangerous proposition for the Raiders. Taking the snap, they're going to actually throw the ball. It's tipped in the air.
That's why they don't throw it.
Yeah,
I think they figured it out.
Yeah, they were expecting a pass there. It hit them in the hands. Now we can understand why they don't throw the ball. This makes perfect sense.
Well, they're probably going to go back to running after that showcase of catching ability here.
Yeah.
Probably run up the middle like they've been doing so far, but also you've got to admit we have been stopping them with those run up the middles.
You're right, and you know, it's all about those halftime adjustments that we clearly must have seen because the Raiders are playing with a wall up front. Man in motion across formation. They'll hand it off to him. Cut up the middle. Trying to chop him down. This will bring up a 3rd and around 6. The Raiders doing pretty well to stop this run game.
New play there, I actually think. Putting a receiver back to run it. It might. Their running back might be feeling a little bit tired coming into the 4th quarter here. Well, in the 4th quarter. Yeah,
in the 4th quarter, you know, I mean, when you get a million handoffs, I wouldn't blame you. Muller's still out there, though. A 3-receiver set for Pomona. Can you believe it?
2 in the backfield. There are 3 in the backfield as well.
They'll work out of the shotgun. Snap a little off. It's going to be a throw. He's going to take off. Up the middle. Met. Dallas Macias. Stonewall. And it brings up a 4th down.
Beautiful meet there by Dallas, just stopping that. I thought maybe he would get there. I was a little worried there for a second, but Dallas is that Stonewall that you just said and stopped him.
Looks like the punt team is coming on the field. A standing ovation for the Raiders as they come off. Looks like we got DT3 back deep to return. Ever explosive, but hasn't been able to showcase it tonight as a series of fair catches on sky-high short punts. Uh-oh. Could we see them fake it? There's no way, right? They're going to fake it! A fake punt! They're going to throw! Tipped! A fake punt! Late in the game! All they needed was 4. And you know what they got, Cam? 0! Raiders take over!
Weirdest play call I've seen all night. I don't know what was exactly going through the coach's head when they were like, yeah, let's throw it. First off, let's throw it. But let's also do it on a 4th down deep in our own territory where the Raiders can easily get up by 14 now.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna just go inside the head of the Pomona play call here, right? What have we been good at all night, Pomona play callers? Throwing the ball. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So you know what we're gonna do? On 4th down from our own end on a 4th and 4, throw the ball on a fake punt. Genius, Cam, genius.
Just elevated above what I can think.
Medina up the middle, met there for only a gain of 1. Clock continues to tick as we get down to under 8 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Raiders going to try to tack on some points. You got to imagine they want the touchdown here to make it a 2-score game. Even with a field goal, it is still a 2-score game. But you want points here, unlike your last drive.
Really here, it's just converting on these 2nd and long and these 3rd and shorts that we've been seeing that the Raiders have been on and haven't been able to get so far.
Carroll from the shotgun has Medina in the backfield. Snap will gain a few. Be 3rd and around 6. Third and I'd say about 5 upcoming.
Maybe here we might see a Luke Ford.
Yes, look Luke Ford, bottom of your screen. Could look for a fade route to the end zone. Instead, they're going to run it up the middle. Carroll's got a hole to the end zone. Xavier Carroll, touchdown. Field is clean of flags. Nothing on the play except 6 for the Raiders.
Finally, the run game is really coming together here in this 3rd, 4th quarter, and it's just beautiful to see. He just punched through. He punched through that hole. There was nobody around him. I mean, the corner kind of came in and just kind of stared at him because there's no way that corner is going to stop.
Carroll running up the middle there, just threw some mean punches going up. Said, son, take a seat. Let me show you grown man strength. Up the middle. Raiders lead by 13. 14 pending the extra point here from Murphy. Snap is good, hold is good, and kick looks like it is good. So Ty Murphy knocked it through, thought that one was a miss. I'm all over the place on field goals tonight, apparently. So with that, we're going to take a quick timeout on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler. We will see you in just a moment. Thank Teams take the field here as the Raiders take a 14-point lead. Pomona, whose run game was hot in the first half, we said at halftime, look, they're going to have to make some adjustments to stop this run game. And you know what? I don't know if I've called Muller's name all second half. Remember him? Remember how he was a person in the first half? Doesn't seem like he's doing much in this second half. Looks like Kaler will field this one and drilled. Absolutely drilled.
Really good tackle there. I mean, he got the legs. Somebody else came in for the top hit. It was just an amazing tackle right there.
Shout out to 2 of the guys that I look for on kick coverage when they go down there, Mason Simonson and Jose Gutierrez. Those 2 on kick coverage, absolute dogs, Cam.
Mason is terrifying to go against. Trust me, I've done it once, and I was scared.
Absolute monster. Just a huge human being, athletic freak. Wouldn't want to face him. They'll go out of the shotgun. Taking the snap, handoff up the middle is Mueller. And suplexed back down.
You saw a little bit of that first half of Mueller, getting past a couple tackles, but the Raiders are kind of showing that they have the superior strength when it comes down to it.
Do we hear Love Sosa coming from the end zone here? That's what we like to hear.
That's what we like to hear. A little bit of Love Sosa.
A little bit of Chief Keef going on in the end zone. We like that.
Everybody likes a little Chief Keef.
Everyone likes a little Chief Keef,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Mariah Carey in Christmas time.
Oh, boy, don't remind me. Shotgun snap, handoff up the middle and a huge hole. A great tackle there from Macias, but Mueller able to exploit a gap. Time is ticking, but a huge gain.
Looks like there for a second, Mueller all the hits might be coming into him this right now. He laid down on the ground a little bit longer than he usually does, and that's not always a good sign.
I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah, no, he's going
to
run out of the ground.
They're working him into the ground here. Come on. Takes the snap, handoff there, wrapped up in the backfield and taken down.
Beautiful read right there by the D end, I think that was. Got around, got past his man.
Carries tonight. You think if he gets a few more that would break, like, child labor laws, possibly? The way they're running him into the ground here? I mean, goodness. Every single play. Muller's getting the handoff. I mean, come on.
That's got to be one of the mentally toughest parts that he is dealing with right now.
Looks like the lineup in a big formation. They're going to throw on play action. Drew! Oh! Big hit! Dallas Macias! That's how you do it, baby! Laid him out! Whoa!
As a QB, you never want your wide receivers to take a huge hit, but wow. Okay, there was nothing. He was wide open for good solid second. They got the ball to him. Dallas, that speed and there was just anger in that hit that just knocked him to the ground.
Quarterback going to have to send a receiver a little card there, maybe an edible arrangement. He gave him a hospital pass on that one. That never turns out well. 3rd and 10. Kaler from the shotgun takes the snap, looking to the sideline, pass complete, but he's got a lot of men to beat. And does he? No, he doesn't. Wrapped up. 4th and 6 on the way.
Let's see if a punt's going to come out.
I don't know. I mean, you can't give up at this point. So it'll be a timeout here, and with that, we're also going to take a timeout on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production, a whole bunch of people up top. You're watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network. Massive 4th down on the Raider Sports Network. This could be the game. 4th and 5. Taking the snap. It'll be a throw. Looking downfield. He'll heave it. And must. Fantastic grab there. My goodness. Does a catch get much better than that? We've dogged on Pomona's hands a little bit, but whoa!
Like I said, maybe right before the game, a blind bird finds a worm twice a day.
That is right.
That was a worm right there. That was a huge worm, actually. That's one of the biggest one out there.
That is absolutely right. A blind bird does find a worm twice a day, and that exactly was a worm. They're going to take a quick timeout here, and with that, we're also going to take a quick timeout on the Raider Sports Network. You know the deal. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks, and I don't know, a bunch of people up top. We'll see you in just a moment. You're watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network. Both teams taking the field after a massive fourth down conversion for the Panthers. 3:41 on the clock. Raiders are going to have to hold if they want to win this game. A spot in the next round of the playoffs on the line. We would tell you who's winning in the Cherry Creek Mountain Vista game, but it is Cherry Creek. Okay, we just found out. No idea how far into the game they are, but Cherry Creek is up 14-0. Shout out to my friend Tyrone Williamson, wide receiver on Mount Vista. A pitch to the outside. It's Mueller. Mueller well cut off there by Moore and knocked out of bounds by DeAndre Barnes. Way to set the edge.
Yeah, that was a great job by Moore there, just making sure that he doesn't get outside or even inside, because that is a good running back. I mean, we've been kind of dogging on Pomona a little bit, but they have a great running back out there.
Yeah, and Pomona, for a one-dimensional offense, runs this offense very, very well. You have to give them a lot of credit for what they've done here tonight, coming in on the road in the playoffs, cold and hostile environment, and playing their brand of football. Even though they were up 14 and have allowed 28 against, those 14 points they were really moving. And they're moving yet again. Shotgun snap here. They will pass it to the outside. Good blocking on the edge. Trying to push to the outside, and looks like he might just be a yard short of the first down, but steps out of bounds and gets near that first down marker.
Yeah, that was good blocking there by the other wide receiver, keeping his man right next to him. Honestly, he was keeping him really close, really tight, and that's exactly what you need to do.
You're exactly right. That's a block. That's a solid block right there, and usually, we agree with the Regis crowd who's right outside the door right now. Don't tell anyone, but we actually like that block on the Raider Sports Network. They didn't love that block, but we do. Shotgun snap on the way. Handoff up the middle. He's got a lane to the end zone. Touchdown, and Pomona narrows the gap to make it a one-touchdown game. Run right up the middle. We said at the beginning of the drive the Raiders had done a good job to stop that, but Cam, I guess not anymore.
No, they really kind of, this drive especially, have kind of laxed down a bit. I mean, it is the fourth quarter, coming to the end of the game, but that's the prime time where you need to get your head into the game.
Put your pedal to the metal. Keep it rolling. And, they just didn't do that there as Mays comes on to kick the extra point, and the holder will be Mueller. Snap is good. Hold is good, and DT3 broke through the line, but he couldn't get to the ball. Nearly a blocked extra point. But it won't be, as Raiders lead 28-21, and that's where we'll leave you with a quick timeout on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks, and a bunch of people up top. You're watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network. Hands team on the field for the Raiders as we return. Less than 4 minutes on the clock. Raiders lead by 7. You gotta imagine an onside kick is coming here. I don't even know what to say. I mean, we've seen squib kicks be bobbled all season long. knock on wood, which our press box is entirely wood, so we'll knock on wood that this is not the case in the Raiders field. We'll have to see. Tense moment here.
Squid.
Nerves building at Lou Kellogg Stadium. One of the most important moments of the game comes on an onside kick. Raising the arm. Sending them in motion. He'll kick. Ball bounces. Tipped by Pomona and out of bounds. That is a free kick out of bounds. And finally tonight, we see a flag that we like.
There we go. That wasn't the greatest squid kick I've ever seen. It only went about 6 yards, 7 yards maybe, and went straight out of bounds. Pomona trying to do something with that, but it just was not good enough.
Yeah, not to be. The Raiders going to have to milk clock, but in a good setup here. We'll see if they can do so. Time on the clock reads 3 minutes and 14 seconds. They need to waste 3 minutes and 14 seconds to get to the next round of the playoffs to take on likely Cherry Creek based on the scores so far.
Revenge game. A revenge game.
A revenge game would be exactly right, but they're going to need to pick up some first downs here and move the ball. Free kick out of bounds by the kicking team. Ref reiterates that as the Raiders will start their drive in the Pomona half. Pomona facing a very uphill battle. The Raiders going to try to run it downhill. That was beautiful.
That was
beautiful.
some bars.
My mind is working at 1,000,000 miles an hour right now. It's insane. Handoff Medina to the outside edge. Well set. Tackle nearly for loss. They'll say it goes for loss.
Good pick up there by Pomona defense, holding that edge down. Sad to see, honestly, but that is going to keep the clock moving. Raiders need to get basically a touchdown at this point, driving down little by little, and then get a touchdown. That's going to seal the game off.
And, if you get into field goal range based on, the kicking struggles tonight, maybe you might want to, even if you're in kicking range, punt it and try to get the best possible punt towards the sideline to just annihilate them. I don't know. That was not the right terminology. Is Medina up the middle. Not going to gain much. But all they need is the clock to run, and it looks like there'll be a timeout, Pomona.
Yeah, here, coming down to the last couple minutes of the game, this play call right here is going to decide a lot. They're either going to go for a run and hope, and I mean just hope, that it gets those 7, 8, 9 yards that it needs, or they're going to do a quick little pass play and just hope to get tackled in field or get that touchdown even.
Yeah, Cam, if you are the coaches in this situation, like you mentioned, you can try to pick up the first down on a pass, but if it falls incomplete, then it stops the clock, or you can go for a run to waste time and maybe pick up that first down. What are you going with here if you're the coach?
Honestly, I might go for the little kind of riskier time option and pass the ball, and because especially they have the wide receivers, they have the tight ends even, that they can dish it to, that they can get those yards and then get tackled in field. And the clock is just going to keep moving, and they're going to get that first down.
I'm going to go cop out here and say RPO. A huge third ball. I'm taking time off the clock, and I'm doing an angled punt towards the sideline to try to pin him deep. We know Brooks Gehrig has the leg. We know he has the accuracy. We'll see if that's what they decide to go with here. But we won't see it yet, as the Raiders will take a timeout. So with that timeout, we're also going to take a timeout here on the Raiders Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production, a whole bunch of people up top. You're watching Raider football on the Raiders Sports Network. Both crowds getting into it here. Huge moment in the game. A third and very long. Ton of time on the clock. Carroll will take the snap. They'll run speed option again. Carroll up the middle. Tackled by his neck and brought down. They're going to say drop the ball, but the refs don't agree.
Surprised there's not a face mask call there.
Yeah, that was interesting. We don't have replay review. If the refs come asking for us, we're on a 4-minute delay. So, you know what? Too bad. Fourth down upcoming. Offense is on the field.
Yeah, I mean, here...
You probably wind it down, then take a timeout, I'd imagine.
That's might be what they're doing here.
Yep, and that is what they'll do. So they wind it down, they take a timeout. I was a bit worried when I saw the offense on the field. The Raiders will take a timeout before they punt it away. The time on the clock reads 1 minute and 41 seconds. You need 1 minute and 41 seconds of defensive stops if you're the Raiders to advance you to the next round of the playoffs. Raiders lead 28-21. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production, whole lot of people up top. You're watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network. A big punt upcoming. This is about as big as a punt can get. Brooks Gehrig gets the snap. Punt is off. It's high. It's angling and out towards the sideline. Got the side of his foot. That one is going to be oh, they keep moving. He keeps going. That punt did not go that far out.
I thought it might have went out at the 25.
Yeah, they're going to give them an extra about 5 or 6 yards here to start their drive. Pomona.
It's just going to be a defensive battle for what? 1 minute, almost a minute 36. It's just going to be a defensive fight.
A minute and 36 seconds on the clock. A huge defensive stand is needed. Raiders gear up here. From the shotgun. Kaler takes the snap. He'll look to pass. He has a man outside. Josh Harvey meets him. Harvey Island locks him up.
That is the Harvey Island that we love to see out here. He hasn't gotten much time to play the ball because we know Pomona does not pass. This is the most they've passed, actually, I think.
Yeah. I'd say it is.
So that's just great to see, and getting the clock still moving. It's amazing.
Kaler takes the shotgun snap, looking downfield. Defense is playing way deep in his zone. He'll take off. Padilla is spurring and brings him down. And a flag. There comes a flag.
There's going to be a horse collar call on that one.
Yep, you got to assume. That's going to stop the clock and move him. You can't do that.
You got to hit him at the waist. You got to take him out. Even a kneecap hit.
Yeah.
But
oh, goodness me.
Great come up for the hit, but just the hit itself was not what it could have been.
You know, it was a good job of Padilla meeting him there for the tackle. Just not the best form on that tackle. It's going to hurt him.
It's going to hurt him a lot, too. A horse collar.
Yeah, horse collar's what, 15?
15.
Oh, 15 would be absolutely brutal at where we stand in the game, especially 1:02 on the clock. Stopping this clock. Are they going to wave it off? I doubt it. They're still deliberating. And they'll move it. No, boy. Oh, they keep going. Oh, stop walking. Stop walking, sir.
All right. It's about 48 yards for the touchdown here.
Brutal.
They got to move up 48 yards to tie up the game. That's not what we want to happen here. 3 defensive stops. 3 to 4. 4 preferably is what you need out here.
Oh, boy. Here we go. A minute and 2 seconds on the clock. 1st and 10 from the 48. No timeouts remaining for Pomona. They take the snap. Looking over the middle. He's looking deep. Going at Harvey Island to push off. They're going to say he was out of bounds. He caught the ball out of bounds. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, man.
He pushed Joshua Harvey off, but he pushed himself out of bounds by doing so.
And it looks like it is going to be an injury timeout here.
So with that, we are going to take a timeout on the Raider Sports Network. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Cam Buehler, Nick Marks on production. Whole lot of people up top. You're watching Raider football on the Raider Sports Network. Second and 10. 54 seconds on the clock.
Pass game is going to be huge here, as running it doesn't really seem like an option anymore.
We're manifesting not a 5-3 here. Drop people back, because they've shown that even though they're not a passing team, they can get the ball down the field. Kaler takes the snap. Good pressure off the edge. Thrown and getting out of bounds and picking up the first down. Got it into the zone. Moving the sticks. Pass was complete to Isaiah Alvarez, who's been pretty big for them on this drive.
Yep, 49 seconds to go here, like we keep saying. This is just going to be a pass after pass. The corners and safeties, they haven't getting much action. They're not going to be what they usually are because they haven't been moving as much. So it's going to be a really hard game here for them, but they're going to have to show out the hardest they've ever done before.
Clock gets set to 50 seconds. They put an extra second back on. I guess that was a 3-second play right there.
Yeah.
Highly impressive. Takes the snap, keeps it himself. Jaden Franklin and Logan Hilliard meet him. Clock keeps running.
They're trying to switch it up. They're going to probably spike it.
Looks like they might spike it. Watch out for a fake spike. We'll see. Oh, they're going to actually spike it. I didn't think you may have done that. Clock will stop. It'll be a 3rd and 10. A massive 3rd and 10 at that. 32 seconds on the clock. Pomona does not have timeouts. The Raiders have one if they score and want to go for Hail Mary to a field goal. I don't know. I don't even know what you would do.
No.
Who knows? I don't even think that's possible. But knock on wood.
2 plays here. 2 plays are going to happen no matter what goes on. It's going to be basically 2 plays.
Yeah. Depending on whether or not, they get the ball in bounds.
Yeah.
We shall see. 32 seconds on the clock. Taking the snap. Pressure off the edge. Nearly tripped up. Thrown to the sideline. Did he stay in bounds?
They're going to call it a catch.
They're going to call it a catch, but they're going to say he stayed in bounds. Clock is at 23 seconds. Referee didn't look like they gave a signal to whether or not he was in bounds. Regardless, it's a 4th down.
This is huge here. It all comes up. This is the play of the night.
Kaler out of the shotgun, looking deep, finds a man. He's staying on the field, though, and they're going to have to spike it quick. The clock is winding. Excuse me, not winding because they have to reset the down markers.
Gosh.
16 seconds on the clock. Will they spike it? Looks like they will. 11 seconds on the clock. Looks like it'll tick to 10. 10 seconds on the clock. 2nd and 10. Guard the end zone. Please, please, Please guard the end zone.
I think, honestly, the corners here, they have to play man defense. They've been playing zone a little bit more, which is giving them time to get the ball. We cannot have that happen here when it comes down to this last second.
Kaler out of the shotgun, takes the snap. He's looking at Harvey Island. He's throwing at Harvey Island. You don't throw at Harvey Island.
There's still 1 play left. That was an amazing defensive play, but there's still 1 to go. 4 seconds left. It is all up to this.
4 seconds left. Possibly the last play here for Raiders Sports Network this season, as we will not be covering the next round of playoff action. That will be for Chassa.
This is the tensest moment of my life, basically, right now, watching this last 4 seconds of this game. Anything can happen. It is all up into the air. They're probably going to throw left side here. They have left side strength.
3 receivers, top of the screen, 1 at the bottom, taking the snap, looking to the top. Is he going to take off? He's trying to get out. Hayden Moore the pressure, and he throws it out of bounds. The Raiders hold. The Raiders hold.
There's a flag on the play.
Are you kidding me?
There's a flag on the play.
There's a flag. There's a flag. There's a flag. What could it be on?
Was that the end of the game, though?
Yeah, I mean, possibly. We'll see. It is a holding on the offense. Call declined. Raiders win 28-21. What a night here from Lou Kellogg Stadium as your Raiders advance to the next round of the playoffs. Congratulations to the Raiders. A big shout out to Pomona tonight for coming here and playing hard. But what a second half adjustment from this squad, putting up 28 after being down 14-0. An absolute stunner here under the lights in Lou Kellogg Stadium. That will do it for us here on the Raiders Sports Network. The last playoff football game that we will call. It's been a pleasure joining you for these 3 years of Raider football. I'm Hudson Ridley for Cam Buehler, Nick Marks, and a whole bunch of people up top. We'll see you next week, not us, but Chassa will, for the next round of the playoffs. Your Raiders win 28-21. Have a nice night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Hot, 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 hot.